Hi guys, welcome back. Scatlink here, and we are off for the actual finale of Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D. This isn't another cop-out. I mean, we could have ended it last episode once again, but I just keep swerving because there's just yet more to do. We ended up inside the moon in this weird, peaceful, ethereal field, still feeling the trembles of the giant struggling to keep this moon afloat. Conjured up by that kid behind us. And there were 4 other kids running around wearing the remains of all the bosses that we had to purge the curses of the 4 compass directions of Termina. And we've given away all of our masks sans the transformation masks. They just don't want them. In fact, even if we're transformed, they get mad. Like, they've all left. I guess they've gone to hide in places that we're no longer able to reach. And left us with very philosophical questions to ponder. But with the state of the world as it is right now, hanging by 4 giants' hands, effectively so, and they're still struggling. You can feel it right now. And we don't even have Giant's Mask anymore. There's only one thing left to do, and that's to confront the source of the evil. But considering the philosophical questions, is it truly evil, or is it the only way they know how to have fun? Is it just one big massive game to them? Everyone's gone away, haven't they? Will you play with me? Sure. You don't have any masks left to share, do you? I have 3, but the others didn't like them. I'm guessing you wouldn't either. Well, let's do something else. Oh, okay. Let's play good guys against bad guys. Yeah, let's play that. Okay. But... Well! We got the Fierce Deity's mask! Could this mask's dark powers be as bad as Majora, though? Tremendous power is emanating from within. Am I the good guy or bad guy in this scenario? And that is our final quest complete. You played with all 4 children on the moon. The kid with the Majora's Mask gave you the Fierce Deity's mask as thanks. You got the final mask. Are you ready? You're the bad guy. When you're bad, you just run. That's fine, right? Well, shall we play? It's all just a big, massive game. And before we even engage Majora, sitting on that wall right in front of us there, in this ethereal, dreamlike room, altar, there's a few things I need to point out. If you're in the N64 version right now and you just picked up the Fierce Deity's mask, you would notice in your C buttons that the transformation masks are grayed out. If you've just got the Fierce Deity's mask from Majora and then is about to fight Majora in the same moment, you cannot use the transformation masks. But in the 3DS version, you can. I can slap them on and there's no penalty here. The 3DS version gives you the option to use your transformation masks even if you just got the Fierce Deity's mask. A nice change that may have been not intentional? I think it was still supposed to be blocked, but they just for some reason forgot to put it in. But I do appreciate it, because if we just walked in without handing in any of our masks to go for Fierce Deity, if we just didn't pick up Fierce Deity, we'd be able to use all of our masks, including the transformation masks. However, none of those masks really have much utility, not even the blast mask. Maybe Bunny Hood for maneuverability, but you don't get that speed when you're targeting. So, in the interest of fairness while fighting this boss, and I was going to fight it just Link only, I'm not using Fierce Deity for this finale. The reason being is because you just target and mash B, and that's it. Not really worth a finale. I'm saying that right now, just so you know, I'm not using it. So that we can fight the boss proper. However, because you can't use the transformation masks after getting Fierce Deity in the N64 version, I will not be doing major damage with the transformation masks. I'll show what you're intended to do, more like, with them, if you want to use them. But I'm not going to use them a lot. I'll use it for maybe one hit, and then I'll take it off and do the rest of the battle as normal Link. We have done everything. Notice that we have a big old medal next to event notes. We have cleared the Bomber's Notebook as well. This is the only time I'm going to be able to show it, because you see those medals all the time when you boot up the Bomber's Notebook in the N64 version, and there's only 20 spots tracking 20 people. If we go to schedule here, though, this is similar to what we see in the N64 version, but you can see that everyone that we have seen has a medal, but it doesn't have empty slots to the people that we haven't seen yet, unlike the N64 version. It's a lot easier to track that way in terms of how close you are to completing the Bomber's Notebook. But here, you have a medal next to event notes if you have done everything that the book has to offer in the 3DS version. We have done everything, including maximum health, the exclusive bottle. But enough stalling. Let's go. What are the remains doing? Must be the spawns of Majora. It's disengaging from the moon! Majora's Mask! It's sentient! Must have been a demon sealed within the thing, and it's leached enough energy from all the suffering it's been inflicting and the Skull Kid's life force. Remember your battles. When a fight is too tough head-on, you've always had luck approaching the situation from a different angle. Tattle, there's no need to be cryptic. We need to smack its behind, because as we have already found out, Majora's Mask is as hard as steel, and front-on attacks don't work. So what are you supposed to do? You can spin and catch it unawares and hurt it. That's what you're supposed to do. If you wanted to use the Deku Mask, you're supposed to burrow into these flower symbols to burrow. And just like the turtles, when it flies over you, that's when you want to pop out to stun it. But unfortunately, because of your speed, you won't be able to make it even in the N64 version. But there's another difference as well. I missed, but it acts like a yellow flower and we can fly in the 3DS version. In the N64 version, you literally just pop out and you don't take flight. So you can't even use Deku Nuts, but I don't think Deku Nuts affect it. I missed. Where are you? Are you over there? Come on, you. Down you get. I want to at least stun you once by doing this. I got him! And that actually did damage. But that's the only hit I'm going to land as Deku Link, because, funnily enough, when we reach this phase where all of the remains are summoned to try and hit us, you don't want to be either Deku or Zora Link. Because sometimes at this phase, Majora's Mask will shoot a laser beam that will literally burn you, but you can reflect it with the mirror shield. And you can direct it to the other remains to one-shot them as well. I want to stop... Oh, there we go. There we are. I burned him. Yes, I got hit as well, but I did just take out the Got Mask in one go. It actually dropped some health for me. Hello. I have to roll like a scrub because I don't have Bunnyhood. Hello. Right, let's see if I can direct it. Nope. Problem is, I don't really want to be targeting when I'm shielding because you can't really direct it really well. But 4 arrows or 2 light arrows will also take out... Oh, I actually hit Majora with the beam. Nice. Yep, that does do damage. You burn the mask with its own power. Oh, actually, it looked like the Dollwa got caught just by flying in the way. Yeah, those light balls that the remains shoot, you can't deflect those, not even with a bottle. Because remember, we don't have the Blade of Evil's Bane. Oh, I just killed that thing. I just killed them both! Nice! I was going to shoot them with light arrows, but I didn't need to. I like actually using the mirror shield for this. This is a way of fighting Majora that I've never done. All I did was spin attack, trying to knock it down, and continuously spin attack to do damage. But, yeah, there's a lot of ways you can actually fight Majora in this game. Show me your backside. Okay, we're doing that then, are we? Yeah, unfortunately Majora flies quite fast, so you're not able to, Oh, that actually worked. Wow. Well, that actually did work! Holy hell! Wasn't intended for that to work. That was a trick shot. Nice. Pulling off some skillage in the village right here. There we go. Nailed it. And that's... Is that done? Is that game? No. Majora's not even started. Transformation has begun! It has limbs! Majora's incarnation? Is this some sort of weird ritual dance? Where are you off to? Yeah, if you got hit by that beam, as Zora or Deku Link, you would take damage. Yeah, this thing is running around like crazy, but we can run into it using the Goron mask in order to chase it down and do damage. However, that is very cumbersome because it's a small room, especially in the N64 version. Block those shots! That was a bombardment! Remember your strategies. Chase fast-moving enemies, aim at faraway enemies. You've done this all before. Yeah, so, ironically enough, my ideal situation is to... You just fell on top of me. Get destroyed. How dare you do the Michael Jackson? You taunting me? Also shine sparking everywhere? Get out of it. Just stick this great fairy sword up your ass. That actually worked. Yeah, the incarnation's the easiest phase, but that's only phase 2. The final phase, where the transformation's almost complete, has begun. It feeds off our pain. We need to purge it. Majora's Wrath. Immediately after the round starts, as you noticed there, I was crouching, and I was actually able to block some of the whips. Yeah, these whips can reach 3/4 across the room, and she likes to spin around a lot in order to close distance. Oh, she actually broke a pot over here for magic. I do not need that. But yeah, you can get comboed pretty easily, but this is one of the few times where blocking with your sword, with a two-handed weapon at least, actually works. And this is also, as you would have guessed, where we would want to use the Zora form, but not right now. Well, I guess I could show it off right now. You might think, use the Zora fins, especially if you run out of arrows to try and stun her, but the fins move so slow. Yes, they do track. You might get lucky, but she might jump out of the way. Quite a lot, I might add. So, maybe not the best idea. So we don't want to be using the Zora mask right now. It's actually kind of a mistake I always make, trying to show something off. And I did it in practice. So, we'll just stun you with a light arrow, close the distance, and do a bit of damage. There we go. But I want to be careful on how much damage I actually do, because once we get to a certain point in this final phase, it's when I particularly want to swap to the Zora mask. Just to show off one thing, but it's really dickish on how it actually works. So if I actually get hit as normal Link, and she does it, okay, I don't think she's doing it yet, so I can go for another Sniperino if I stop getting whipped while doing it. Okay. Observe the enemy. Even the most powerful of enemies has a weak spot. Figure out what it is and catch them off guard. Yeah, well, we can't really do that right now. We just got to do it the normal way, which, funnily enough, is the fastest way. If you can't close the distance in time, you might want to use a couple more arrows. Oh, that's the one! Okay. Right. That move. There's only one way to counter that move, and that is with the Zora mask. And sometimes I can't even get her to do that attack half the time, so this is the time to do it. So I need to get a bit of distance. That's the one. Electrical shield, and we do damage. And, of course, I'm nowhere near in order to land the kicks and flips. But that's literally all I'm going to do. Now, I'm only going to use that the one time, as I've mentioned many times, because I don't want to be doing too much damage with the transformations. And she grabbed me as soon as I transformed back to normal. Of course. Literally dodged the counter. How about you take one of them to the face, and we'll do one more or two more jump attacks, and you're probably done, honestly. Oh, here come the Beyblades. They can explode, by the way. It doesn't really mean anything, really. We can... Oh, boy.
Hello.
You can block them with your shield. Right. Got with you another snipe. Jump attack, and you're done! Ironically enough, this being of mass destruction uses its frontal plate of its own sealed mask variant to dodge all the damage. But when it comes out, it's surprisingly frail. He's awake! Bloody hell, I got whipped into shape. Huh? You guys, you hadn't forgotten about me. Still thought of me as a friend. Skull Kid was the imp that got banished. And everyone did call him an imp as well throughout this entire charade. Andrew's grandmother's stories were true. He was friends with the giants. Did you save me? Yes! Took around about a month or so. I thought they didn't want to be friends with me. But they hadn't forgotten about me. Friends are a nice thing to have. Could you be my friend too? About that, you all have the same smell as the fairy kid who taught me that song in the woods. Wait a minute, you serious? You're that guy? You're the one who gave me a heart piece and I sold the skull mask to? Hang on a minute, mate, you had a mask already. Why'd you need another one? I know, let's do something. Kinda tired, not gonna lie. Oh, so the evil has left the mask after all. Hello. What are you doing out of the clock tower, hermit? Oh, now, I finally have it back. Oh, since I'm in the midst of my travels, I must bid you farewell. That's the face of a man who got his special item back. Shouldn't you be turning home as well? Whenever there is a meeting, a parting is sure to follow. However, that parting need not last forever. Whether a parting should be forever or merely for a short time, that is up to you. With that, please excuse me. But my, you sure have managed to make quite a number of people happy. Masks you have are filled with happiness. Truly a good happiness. He just wants everyone to be happy, bless him. Whoa! Where'd he go? Must have some magical powers we're not aware of. Well, both of us have gone what we're after, so this is where you and I part ways, isn't it? You know, it was kind of fun. Well, it's almost time for the carnival to begin. Why don't you just leave and go about your business? The rest of us have a carnival to go to. I do have unfinished business, but we can have fun. Oh boy. See you, Tattle. A little bit condescending, but it was great. Scatlink! Aye! Onward home! Thank you. Link's not one for those social matters. Also, the clock tower's reset. And that is The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Before we get to rounding things off, because, wow, what a journey. We do, in fact, have a carnival to go to, and there is still unfinished business. In many ways, funnily enough. If you notice, Link is actually with the Indigo-Gos performing for a last-minute slap-up scheduling of the performance for the Carnival of Time, playing the Ballad of the Windfish. Lulu's found her voice again. But yeah, Link's taken Mikhail's form just to wrap up the band, because otherwise they'll be wondering, where's our guitarist? Remember, the only one who's still alive out of the 3 transformation masks that we have. So Link still actually gets to participate in the carnival. So even he gets a happy ending, almost. So yeah, there's actually a different version of this credit sequence, funnily enough. When we get to them, I will be showing off. Funnily enough, I did this on the N64 version on the Nintendo Switch Online app. I'll be putting it in the corner so that you can see that what happens is that when it shows certain scenes, if you do not have that mask for it, you would not see the scene. And I was originally going to show that version of the cutscenes off, but funnily enough, they do actually make sense with the final cycle that we did, because I was going to show it off alongside what I want to do is the perfect cycle, where I'll go through all 3 days and try to do everything I can possibly do to make everything properly happy. The souls of Akana are floating about. I mean, they used to kind of hang around even after the death is purified, so that's fine. We didn't actually free the monkey, but I guess things just worked out. The Deku Princess just probably walked out the temple, and everything's been sorted. But to be fair, that monkey's been boiling for 3 days. How was he not dead? Must have had a lot of heart containers. Or had some of Kumei's potions. Apparently they do hang about. He did flee in the end, and now he's running back. Or even though he's doing a victory lap. See, this is what I mean by the perfect cycle. I want to do it so it has a little bit more context, but this is, I believe that is actually one of the scenes where, would be the postman's hat. If you didn't have the postman's hat, it will literally just show you the mask. This one with Camaro's mask, because they're doing Camaro's dance, that sort of thing. So, it's not an N64 to 3DS difference, it literally shows you it if you don't have that mask. So, it's like a clue saying, hey, if you want to see more credit crawl stuff, you need the mask. So you're technically still not done yet. Just a little reminder. So it still gives you reason to go back and play more if you haven't already. This game is packed of secrets. Still amazing that they fit it in 18 months originally. Also, she just shot 1 arrow and nailed all 3 of those. She must have done a spread shot triple bow thing, like what you do with the Lionel bows in Breath of the Wild. Loaded 3 arrows up and went ping. Better archer than Link now at this point. And yes, this is the bomb mask scene. They're all just chilling. And the funny thing is, Grandma's do technically fine, even if you don't save her. And we did let her get slapped, but we had to. It set everything in motion. And this credit sequence is... the music is amazing. The final boss is fun, but I just couldn't get that one thing. To be fair, it wouldn't even matter anyway, because I just wanted to show it once. And I even paralyzed a couple of times with the boomerangs, even though they don't reach very well. Again, it's just easier if you just snipe arrows constantly while approaching and then get a quick hit off with the Great Fairy Sword or Gil-Gilted Sword with a spin attack, which jump attack's probably not worth. So, it's a little bit weird. Like, you can easily do it with normal Link. The transformation masks are actually a little bit discouraged in being used. Yes, that grapple is very good for stunning, but you're still far away. You still got to close that distance, which is why I took off the mask. Tried to snipe with a few arrows, but I probably should have swapped to normal arrows for paralyzing, because light arrows, for a demon, do diddly dick. But enough talk about demons and slaying and God knows what else. We have a wedding to attend. We need to pay our respects. Because we made this happen. Twice. And took it away from them. But they don't need to know that. And we don't even get to see Cafe's grown-up form. Might be worth something to check with Boundary Break. Not affiliated, just saying. Legends of Ocarina of Time stuff. It's the same engine. This is when you realise that, yeah, that tree was the Deku Butler's son. That its spirit was ripped away, sealed in that mask, and that's the leftover husk. That is the actual tipping point. But if you put everything together throughout the entire game anyway, and the other two transformation masks you get, makes perfect sense. But Link's had his fun at the carnival of time. Everything is mostly set up. And we can always rewind if we need to, but we need to continue our search for Navi. Or, at the very least, settle down and maybe set up a ranch in the Orden province of Hyrule. Maybe. But before we leave, we did one last drawing with the Skull Kid, because he's our bud, and we saved him from evil. Happy days. The song that brought us together. And that is Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D. Now, again, didn't have to do that with the final boss. I just wanted to show what you could have done with the transformation masks. Didn't show off Fierce Deity, so that's something that we're going to have to show off in that perfect cycle that we're going to do. However, this project was my first project that I made exclusive for early access for Patreons. But this is the final episode. Once this is up on Patreon, all the episodes following are then going to be made public until this comes out. So yeah, this is part 41. So I was hoping to finish on part 40, but it didn't work out that way. I'd also like to thank my test audience of Konomeza and Sublinkario for proof watching and giving me feedback on all these videos as well before they come out. We've still got bonus episodes to do. We've got to show off Fierce Deity. I want to see how, like, if I can plan that perfect cycle. There's a few things that we haven't shown off either. A couple of little tidbits. So we're going to see how that all fits in as well. Show as much as possible. There is probably one thing that we haven't shown, and that's talking to Andrew's mother with Cafe Mask. He just tells you to get out and almost backhand slaps you. But yeah, the 3DS version definitely has a few changes that are not good. Some of them are a little bit weird, some of them good, some of them bad, but it is still, in my opinion, the definitive way to play it. You can play the original on the Nintendo Switch Online version as well. I did do all my comparison shots on the N64 version as well, but when I wanted to show off the other credit sequence where you don't have the masks, I had to do a minimalist run, basically, with not heart pieces notwithstanding, basically not getting any masks at all except for the few required. And I didn't have any files left. I have 2 files on everything. I've got my personal file, my practice file, and the project file on the 3DS. On the cartridge, I got my original file, and then I've got the project file for that. I needed an extra couple of files, so I did the PAL version on Nintendo Switch Online just for that. So, but yeah, this was my first 3DS project as well, not counting anything else that we have done on the channel as well, or even on other channels either. But yeah, this took way longer than intended to do, but that's because I've been doing with other stuff, especially Life and Such. We've been trying to stop an apocalypse on here. Pretty much the world went through things throughout the whole thing as well, but I'm not dating it. You can get what I mean. But this, hopefully, comes out before the channel's 10th anniversary. And we've still got fishing to do as well, so it's not truly the end, because he laughs. Of course he does. But now the N64 version will just automatically do an autosave so that when you boot up your file, you'll have Fierce Deity in your inventory because you got to start the 3-day cycle all the time anyway. By hitting the end on that stump before the 3DS credits here, the N64 version would autosave. Here, we actually get a choice if we want to save or not, which we are going to do. Because when we do return to this game, we will be showing off the Fierce Deity mask. We will also be showing off, hopefully if I can plan it, and see if it's possible, on the 3DS version at least, because remember, we do only have half speed time, not 33% time when slowing down, of a perfect cycle. And even then, you need the Fierce Deity's mask in order to catch everything in the fishing holes, believe it or not. So, we wouldn't have been able to do everything anyway, until we finish the main game. And those will be Patreon exclusive as soon as they come out, and then I'll make them public when they've been on Patreon for a certain amount of time. With that, I thank you all for supporting me throughout all this, as well as everything that has gone through with the past few years, different projects, Life and Such. I know it's been a struggle, but just like time itself, it's a great healer, and you can pull through if if you put your mind to it. See you guys then.